everybody, it's Dan Szematowicz along with my co-host
Andrew Iden. Hey, Dan. How are you?
Andrew. I'm all right. Yeah, we have some news to share about the show. Breaking news for anybody listening to this. We have a big announcement to make about a major change to the show and the direction that it will be moving in. And we won't take up a lot of your time, but let's start with the big major change in what you have come to expect, and that is Andrew is stepping away from the show.
Yeah, I decided a couple weeks ago that it was probably time for me to change it up a little bit. I think everybody kind of comes to a point where they need to do that. So I am changing it up a little bit. I'm still going to be kind of dabbling in audio and some projects, creative projects. But because of that, I think there was not going to be the time that Deviant needed from me.
Yeah.
And frankly, after nearly 2 decades of doing stories like the ones we've been doing, which I think are very, very important, I could use a break, honestly.
Yeah.
It's important to every now and then sort of open the window, air out the house a little bit, go for a walk, change it up. But yeah, so I'm going to be stepping away, and I know, but when I say that, it is with 100% pride in everything that we have done for the last year and a half.
Yeah, and Andrew and I almost feel like we're telling our kids that mom and dad aren't going to be living together anymore. But yeah, we both love you very much. No, it's Andrew and I remain great friends, and as Andrew mentioned, you may or may not know this about him. He has spent almost 2 decades in true crime and sort of living the stories of the worst days of people's lives. And sometimes you need a break. Sometimes you need to try new things. You need to explore new horizons and, find what really resonates with you. And, I think Andrew, as talented as you are and sort of what I know you have planned, I think you're onto some cool, positive, life-affirming things.
I appreciate that. And sometimes, when
you deserve it. You deserve it.
Well, thanks. I mean, whenever somebody makes sort of a big change, it's always like, well, why are you doing it now? And I think about a sort of podcast, a guy that I'm a fan of, Mark Maron, who said recently when he decided to end WTF, is that there's no real like big grand thing. It just felt like it was probably time. So I do want to ask you, Dan, what is your favorite sort of Deviant story from the last year and a half?
Yeah, for the stories we've done together, like I said, just like you, I'm proud. I'm proud of everything we've done. I think maybe it was if I had to pick one, it would probably be the second one we ever did together for this show, which was the Anthony Sewell murders, just because I think that was an important underreported story. We were able to bring some new things to it. We were able to find some voices that really hadn't been heard before. We were able to, I think that was showing everything that this show was capable of in the Andrew Iden era, Andrew Iden, Dan Szematowicz era.
Yeah. And I think that we did, when you look at sort of the body of work of the last year and a half and the stories we've done, I think it's been cool that we've had sort of a diverse portfolio of not just the stories, but like the way we did them, right? Like we've done like the Israel Keys, the full build out of the interrogation story, like around his interviews. We've done sort of the field work where we did the like Coney.
Coney was great. Yeah.
So and everything in between. So I think that we've done some pretty cool things with the form.
And Hart Family, the Hart Family story, I thought you probably don't have a huge look into the behind the scenes of what we do, but for when it's Andrew only hosting a show, I'm behind the scenes producing it, or vice versa. And I think for the Hart Family, like I could really tell that's a story Andrew always wanted to do and never had the chance to do previously. And I could tell how much you really poured your heart into making that one something special. And I think it was. So, one thing I'll miss about you out of many things is the depth of journalism and the depth of caring that you bring in a way that is unique to you. Like we all care about the stories that we talk about, but there's a gear that you are able to click into when you're really engaged with the story that I think you could see and hear in the Hart Family series that we did.
Well, thanks for that, man. It's true because you're right. That story was always really, really interesting and sad, and really just one that I always really wanted to do. And so I was glad, if nothing else, I was glad that we were able to do that. And the people that we talked to for that story were also very much like, guys, thanks for doing this. Somebody's doing this, telling the story finally again in this form. So that's sort of where I am. It just sort of felt like it was time for me to, find a new path and explore some different things. But all is not lost, because despite the fact that I am stepping aside.
Yes.
What?
Well, that's a great transition. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm saying because as I step aside, there is other news in that, Dan, you are stepping up even more so than previously.
Well, we're going from 2 hosts to 1 host, that host being me. And as such, the show's going to be evolving a little bit. This is still a true crime show, and what I'm going to be doing is telling you stories, right? Much like we've been doing, telling you just incredible stories, but something in a different way. It'll just be a sort of a different listening experience, or if you're viewing this, a different viewing experience. It's going to be more storytelling based, and that's going to allow us here at the show to be more productive. I know it's been frustrating for us sometimes that we can't bring you a show every single week, because the shows we've been doing take a lot of journalism. They take a lot of research. They take a lot of booking, all these behind the scenes things that can create bottlenecks. And, we're a pretty lean team. So, I'm sort of re-engineering the show to do storytelling in a way that I can bring you true crime stories every week. Stories of crimes that you've heard of, stories of crimes that you may not have, stories of the unexplained, right? I want to tell you stories that you want to hear in a way that you could just kick back and listen. That's my goal. And if you follow the show on social, if you follow the show on YouTube, you're going to see more of me and that storytelling there too. So if you prefer to consume this show on audio only, it's going to be there. If you prefer to watch it on video or on social, those stories will be there too. So however you like to experience Deviant, it will be there for you, including a new newsletter that will be launching soon, where you could read the stories that I'll be telling you also.
Are you excited to get back to writing?
Yeah, I am. I love writing. I love telling stories. And so I'm excited to do it this way, and hopefully have more of a dialogue with everyone out there listening to and watching the show too. I'll be available on our Patreon, on Discord, on social, and in the upcoming shows, I'll be telling you how to find us on all of that. So, yeah, it's sad, and I'm sad that Andrew's leaving, because he and I have worked together for a while now. You may or may not know this about us, but we first started working together when we were both still at CNN. We did a show called Down the Hill, The Delphi Murders. And if you're listening to the show, you are a true crime fan, most likely. And if you're a true crime fan, you know that story.
Shout out Bart McDonald.
Shout out Bart McDonald, now at Court TV, the queen of Delphi journalism. Wow, the stuff she finds.
Yeah.
That's really where we got our start. And we lived that story for a couple of years.
Good bit.
Yeah.
It was that was sort of your foray into this pool, and you saw how quickly you have to start doggy paddling to stay afloat.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it's been fun, man, working with you. Obviously, the content is not fun, but we've high-fived, we've bumped heads, we've slammed our laptops before.
We had joy, we had fun, we had
all that stuff.
Yeah.
But and I think that's all very, very important to have behind the scenes when you're doing this sort of content that's just
absolutely
tough to take. So thank you for that. Obviously, I mean, I'm not going far. I'm still going to send you text messages asking for the password to, hey, what's the Riverside password? Or baseball chatter. Or,
baseball, a lot of baseball. Yeah, a lot of baseball,
so,
a lot of us complaining
and promise
about
me
news. Yeah.
that I can return once in a blue moon just to check.
Yeah, man.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. And just, moving forward with the show, like I said, it's going to be storytelling based. And wouldn't that be great if Andrew shows up just telling you a story one of these days? I think that would be great. So I'm really excited for you all to hear what the show is going to become. It starts next week.
Geez, no rest for the weary.
No rest for the weary, but I'm excited to show you what we've been building behind the scenes here, and I think you'll like it. If you do, make sure you tell your friends. Follow us on social at deviant.podcast. Find more ways to support the show at deviantpodcast.com, and keep an ear and eye out for information about how to subscribe to the newsletter that's coming up. And I think you'll really enjoy some of the stories that I have coming up for you. So we'll get out of here. But Andrew, again, thank you for your service, sir.
Dismissed?
And it's a pleasure to be your friend and to be your colleague. And even though I know this era of that is changing, this era for me will always remain a fond part of my heart.
Indeed. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week with a brand new story on Deviant.